Хөрхөн охид trap сонсон. Trap сонсон, trap донсон. Түүний сонсдог хөгжим дур булаан. Дагаж дуулан дур булаа мууруулаа.
Hey everyone, welcome to the MMA Roasted Podcast. It's going to be a great show today. I'm here with the Weendawg.
What's up, dude?
And we're going to got a lot to talk about. It's been a great week. First of all, I want to thank Speedweed. Listen, marijuana is legal in California. Don't leave your house to get it. Don't burn gas. Don't go wait online like a jerk at the dispensary with thousands of other people, and you got to run into people that you don't want to see, and some hot bud tenders flirting with some guy, and then you got to wait hours online, and it's just like, ugh. Okay, then they give you samples, you're high as hell, you get in the car, and then there's a cop waiting for you to pull you over, and your whole life is ruined. You're down $20,000. No, don't do that. Okay, go to speedweed.com. They will deliver it for you. They have everything from marijuana to CBD to vape pens to THC sex lube, okay, which me and my wife, we can't use yet because she's breastfeeding and we don't want our kid getting high. But as soon as that breastfeeding's done, I am putting that all over my penis and bang, okay?
Yeah.
So go to speedweed.com, speedweed.com, mention roasted. You get $100. You get $10 off, $100 orders or more, okay? Telling you, I highly recommend it. They're good people. Speedweed.com. Follow them at Speedweed. Also, if you want the best, okay, CBD, there's only one place to go, and that's Santa Cruz Medicinals, okay? They have this new CBD vape pen. It comes fully charged, ready to use. So I'm telling you, I've been smoking this. Say goodbye to stress, okay? I take this stuff, and I'm just like, oh, this is amazing. Where was this my whole life, all right? Go to scmedicinals.com, okay? They have amazing stuff, okay? They're great people. They have all kinds of great stuff. And they also, all right, have CBD, their Brussels sprouts are one of the better things you can put in your body, okay? They're all about, just take it from also.
Okay.
And also, okay, they have CBD olive oil, okay? Put it all over your stuff. I'm telling you, I'm now a great cook thanks to this stuff, okay? I put CBD olive oil on the food, and I just, oh man, it's awesome. It takes away my pain. I can relax. I feel better. My life is improved. And you use stuff too. What do you use,
I
Joe?
use the coconut oil every single morning in my coffee. It's the best way to start your day, dude. Just put like I think it's a teaspoon in your cup of coffee. It's tremendous.
Yes, CBD coconut oil. Go to scmedicinals.com. They will ship it to you. Okay, you mentioned roasted. You get $10 off your order, and it's awesome. It's awesome. Okay, scmedicinals.com. They are the tits. All right,
They're the tits, dude.
They're the tits. Okay, who doesn't like tits? scmedicinals.com.
Mm-hmm.
They're big fans of the podcast, and they're good people. Which is even better.
Yeah. You know what I hate about the goddamn dispensaries, dude?
What's that?
Because when I first got my medical marijuana license, I was so excited to finally go into a dispensary. But the thing I hate most is the goddamn salesman bud tenders they have there, because they'll convince you to get their most potent, expensive strain of weed.
Yeah.
When I just went in there just to get like the lowest grade shelf marijuana, because I freak out too much when I smoke weed, but they somehow they're so pushy. Like, you want to try this? If you have headaches, if you have stress, if you have problems sleeping, this is 400% THC.
Yeah, because they're probably getting some kind of kickback on it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
don't even bother that. Go to scmedicinals.com.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, they know what they're doing, and they're good people. And it's just, check it out.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so meanwhile, yesterday I went to the Dodger game, okay, with my dad, and I got a ball.
Yeah, dude, I saw that. It's awesome.
Well, here's what happened, right? So I got my dad birthday tickets to the Dodger game.
He's a fan?
He's a Mets fan, but he grew up with the Brooklyn Dodgers.
Okay.
And then they became the LA Dodgers.
Dang, he's old, dude. The Brooklyn Dodgers.
My dad's old. Yeah, he's in his 70s. So, and so he loves baseball. It's one thing he loves is baseball. He watches every game.
Uh-huh.
So I got him tickets, and then something came up where I couldn't go for his birthday, so he could go with his wife. And I just felt guilty because, I love going with my dad. So I'm like, I'm getting him tickets to the playoffs. So I got him tickets to the playoffs, and we're there. We're having a great time. We're watching Justin Turner, who used to be a Met. He hits a foul ball that goes. Probably I'm like 7 rows up.
Yeah.
But I see the ball and people keep dropping it. It just keeps dropping. And I'm like, it's coming closer to me. So I like jumped over my dad into the row, I ran down like 4 things and just dove headfirst into a pylon of like 18 huge Mexican dudes fighting for the ball.
Oh my God.
And I grabbed it. And then I put it in my pocket because I knew if I would have like been like, I got it, someone might have hit it out of my hand or decked me from behind. Who knows what would have happened? People were fighting for the ball. So I put it in my pocket and then I ran back up to my seat and everyone was still fighting for it because they didn't know that I got it. And then I picked up the ball and I was like, I got it. And everyone started dying laughing because people were still fighting and they were cheering. It was like I did some magic trick.
Well, I just went in there like a little thief, like Bilbo Baggins, like a thief. You just went in there and just took it, dude.
Exactly. So that was
awesome.
The second time I caught a ball in like 3 games.
So you've caught another one before.
I caught one right before my wedding.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at catching balls, not in my mouth, but so that was awesome. And then I just got back I was touring with Jeremy Piven. We did 4 shows. We did Cedar Rapids, flew to Cedar Rapids, and then which is actually pretty funny because we get there and we get to Cedar Rapids and we got the VIP treatment sort of like on the plane. They did so as we were leaving the flight, there was a guy holding up. Jeremy left. He was in first class. Jeremy left. I'm in the back. But there's a guy saying Adam Greenberg, which is my real name, Adam Greenberg. So I'm like, that's me. Some guy as we're leaving the plane, and he's like, oh, you're with Jeremy Piven, right? I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, I didn't want to bother him. He already left. He's like, you get to. I'm like, oh well. So then he takes me off the runway and drives me in like a private car all the way to like the United. Like Delta Skybox, the Delta Skybox, like the club. But Jeremy, he like missed Jeremy, so like, Jeremy had to take the tram, and I went there, and I'm like, dude, some guy just showed up with a thing, and he works for the airline. He's like, oh great. So then he's like, well, why didn't he put Adam Hunter? I'm like, I don't know. I didn't tell him. I even know this even was a thing. You know. He's like, well, why don't we just put my mom's maiden name while we're at it? And so then like it was pretty funny. So then the guy's like, Jeremy, come with us. And he's like, is this where you guys shoot us? So then like, so that was pretty cool. And then we got there and shows were great. Sold out shows in Cedar Rapids. That was awesome. And then we drove to Des Moines. It was an hour and a half for Saturday night, Iowa, yeah. And then we drove to Nebraska for Sunday night, 2 shows Sunday, and then 3 hours to Kansas City on Monday. So I drove, like me and Jeremy drove all around. And like Jeremy, it's crazy. Like we go to the hotels and people just hop out of like to get his autograph and stuff, and like they're having him sign books and RE Gold business cards. They hop out of the elevators. Like we'll be in the hotel walking in, and people pretend to be like on the couch or by the vending machine. They're like, Jeremy, can you sign this? Can you sign this?
Oh my God!
Yeah, which is like a bunch of CBs out there.
Yeah.
But then CB told me that actually people were selling them on some kind of weird eBay thing that he's on Facebook. Like Jeremy Piven, like everyone was selling them afterwards.
That's like such a sad truth of autographs these days. Nobody wants an autograph just to frame and put on their wall. Everybody just wants to sell someone else's handwriting.
But that was crazy. And then like me and Jeremy it was in Omaha. We were watching the Terrence Crawford fight, and then we kind of got like a back room of like a bar, and girls were just hopping on his lap.
Are you serious?
Not even asking, like drunk 50-year-old like MILF or GILFs going, hey, can we take a selfie? And Jeremy's like being nice. He's like, yeah, sure. But I'm like, hey, can you guys please like get off his lap? You know, like I have to kind of be like the muscle a little bit. But it's ridiculous. Because if he says, get the fuck off me, or like, excuse me, leave me alone, or what are you doing? And then someone records that or whatever, then they'd sell it to TMZ and he's the asshole. But women were just jumping in his lap to take fucking selfies. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, I would never just hop in a chick's lap. Be like, can we take a selfie? Like, are you kidding? Maybe I've done that once, but like still, it was insane.
Were you jealous of him a little bit?
No,
like, why aren't they jumping on my lap?
I was happy that like I kind of have the life I have where people just started hopping on my fucking lap.
Yeah. I'll be very annoyed if people just started jumping on my lap.
Well, one time we did like a meet and greet after the show, and some jerk off who was a comic waited in line and then punched him in the balls and ran away.
He punched Jeremy Piven in the balls?
Yeah. He thought that was funny. Like, and then the security guard did nothing. I wasn't even looking. I was looking the other way. I was actually doing something else. And Jeremy told me that. Then he still has like 10 more people to take pictures with. So he's like turning red and of course like pissed off. And then someone tweeted out, Jeremy Piven was a dick. Like, no, he just got punched in the fucking balls. Like,
yeah.
What? But we had a great time. He's
crazy.
He's a great guy, and I'll tell you, man, for a guy who's doing comedy for like 6 months, and I've been helping him, and like, helping him shit and like being kind of like mentoring him and stand up. But I don't know anybody that can. 'Cause I do 45 up front. He does 45 after me, and he was getting standing ovations and destroying, and it was cool. It was really fucking cool. So it's just
awesome, dude.
but just crazy to go from that to like sold out shows to like the Dime Bar Monday where there's 3 people in the crowd, and I'm just like, back to reality. It's like that song, Back to Life.
Right. Back to reality. Are you guys doing theaters or just clubs?
Just clubs.
Okay.
So how are you doing?
I'm pretty good, dude. I got my woman back at home. Well, not my home, her home.
Yes.
I'm enjoying the married life. I'm not married, but I feel like I'm married. You know what I'm saying? It's very strange. When I first started this podcast, I was a young 15-year-old boy, and I was on Tinder all the time. I was with a new woman every single weekend, avoiding STDs like the plague.
Yes.
But you know what? I feel like a fully grown man now. I still live with my dad, though. I still live with him, but...
Why do everything you're saying but? You're like, I get this, but that.
That's just the harsh reality of my life, dude. I'm growing up. It sucks.
Yeah.
But everything's going good. I'm glad to be here. I've been gone for a couple weeks or so. The fans were demanding the Weendawg, so I made my return, and I'm glad to be back, dude.
Of course they were demanding the Weendawg.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why wouldn't they? By the way, so I've been working out with PFL, which we got to talk about their upcoming fight. First of all, I honestly think next year PFL will be the #1 rival for the UFC because they're giving away 6 fighters are getting $1 million each New Year's Eve.
Do you think they're doing that to lure more fighters in different organizations?
I don't know why they're doing that. They're doing that, but I think it's the most fair way to do it because, I mean, the best guy is getting $1 million.
It's like some Mortal Kombat shit. It's an actual fight tournament, dude.
Yeah, the only issue that they have is they can't fight 2 in one night. They're fighting twice in one night, but they can't be 3 rounds each. The first fight is 2 rounds.
Okay.
And whoever wins the first round wins the fight. So if it's you win the first and the other guy wins the second, if you won the first, you win the fight. And that's the only thing that's like a little bit rough.
Yeah.
But that's what it is. It is what it is. Unless, I don't know, maybe you shorten the rounds, but that's the way they're doing it. But look, Lance Palmer, who we're going to have, is fighting Steven Siler for $1 million. Now, if I'm in the UFC right now, or I'm in Bellator, or I'm in ONE FC, and I'm looking around and I'm going, I think I can beat Lance Palmer or Steven Siler. Steven Siler was good fighter, but there are guys I'm sure that they're going, and I'm fighting for $12,000 or $20,000. Why wouldn't I jump over there? I mean, Vinny Magalish is going to fight for $1 million on New Year's Eve. If he wins $1 million.
That's so crazy.
So a lot. I mean, and the thing is, like, his record was like 1-3 in the UFC or something.
He fought in the UFC?
Yeah, he lost to Phil Davis. He was in the Ultimate Fighter finale. He got knocked out by Ryan Bader. And but he did okay. But it wasn't. You could see how he's motivated now.
Yeah,
he's just wrecking people right now.
Yeah,
I mean, he's head kicking people. I don't know if you can throw a fucking head kick.
Well, there's $1 million on the line, dude. I'm gonna be throwing some head kicks too, dude.
Yeah. So I honestly think if I'm in other organizations that I'm looking over at PFL, I mean, you have to win 2 fights to qualify for the tournament. That's how it is. You get points. So if you can knock somebody out, you get 6 points. If there's another point system, and if you win if you win 2 of those fights or one of those fights, I mean, Eddie Gordon's in a tournament. Eddie went 0-2, but was an alternate, and so he's now fighting for. If Eddie Gordon wins 3 fights right now, Eddie Gordon's like 1-4 in his last fight. But if he wins 3 fights starting on Saturday night, he's gonna walk away with $1 million.
That's awesome.
That's awesome, and it's got to entice other fighters.
Yeah. I know Eddie Alvarez. He parted ways.
He's in
with
the
the
ONE
UFC.
FC. I think they're doing really well for him money-wise. That Eddie Alvarez, look, I love Eddie Alvarez. I'm an Eddie Alvarez fan for life. I just worry that he's taking so many fucking hard punches in this. I mean, there's not been an Eddie Alvarez fight he's ever been in where it wasn't a war, except for ones that was dominated. But even the Dustin Poirier fight, he went out, or he got rocked. The last one, the Conor McGregor fight. You look at his fight with Benson Henderson, his fights with Michael Chandler. I mean, Eddie Alvarez has been in so many fucking wars that I kind of hope he just rides off to the sunset. I know he's like, look, he won the Bellator belt, he won the UFC belt. He's like, well, I'm the only guy to ever do that, and then I want to win the ONE FC belt. But really, I mean, I get it. Either he's terrible with money and he spent it all, or whatever, but I would assume he's set for life. I would assume.
You think so? I wonder. Maybe not.
I mean, he lives in New Jersey. Doesn't seem like the kind of guy's gonna go out and buy Bentleys and shit. He's not making it rain at strip clubs. He's a married guy. I don't think. I mean, he's gotten how many fights of the nights? How many bonuses?
That's a lot. But is that enough to cover the rest of your life? Maybe.
Or you could open up a gym and teach privates. I mean, how much money do you? I don't know. I just don't think that at a certain point it's diminishing returns, and I don't want to see Eddie Alvarez with brain damage.
Yeah.
Now Eddie Alvarez knows Eddie Alvarez best, and he's got a great coach over there. Those guys over there are great, and trains over Frankie Edgar. And you talk to Eddie Alvarez, he seems fine. So maybe he's not punchy.
How old is he?
I don't know, but it's in fight years, he's like 90.
At what age for a fighter do you look at them and start to go, oh, I think it's time to slow down, dude? It's like in your mid-30s, maybe,
I really
late 30s.
I don't think it matters by age. I think it's experience. Because, like, you look at Cormier got a real late start.
Yeah.
Even Brock got a late start. Some of these guys who got later starts, Yoel Romero, who
He's 60.
He's like 60, but he started when he was 58 or something.
Yeah.
You know? So I would say with those guys, no. But the guys that didn't go to college and went right to fighting, so they're starting fighting at 18 or 19, and then they're probably 30. You could go, okay, you know, like the Joe Lozons of the world. You're like, all right, you've taken a lot of punches. Do you still need to do this for a living? But then other guys love it. And look, who am I to say to deny a guy to make a living? And if people are gonna watch it, I hate to see guys make a living based beating guys like BJ Penn right now. What the fuck does BJ Penn have to prove?
But who's he fighting? I know he has a fight lined
He's fighting
up.
Hall.
Oh, Ryan Hall?
Yeah, so Ryan Hall's not known for his amazing stand-up.
Yeah, he's very awkward. Like, he throws those kicks, and then he does the Imanari rolls.
Yeah, he looks
locks.
like when you're playing a video game and your button gets jammed.
Yeah.
And it keeps going in that one thing.
Yeah.
Or you're doing that one move, or someone's first time playing.
Hadouken.
Yeah, it looks like that. But look, I like Ryan Hall.
I like him too. He won the Ultimate Fighter, didn't he?
Won the Ultimate Fighter. He's got Tourette syndrome.
He's fought once in the past 5 years.
It's almost impossible to not like a guy like Uriah Hall.
Ryan Hall.
Ryan Hall. Right?
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, I just kind of don't. I don't want to see the guy get fucking hurt. You know, I mean,
BJ Penn.
Yeah, BJ Penn. What does he have to prove? The guy, he's already one of the best in the world. What does beating Ryan Hall prove for him?
Yeah.
I mean, what does that do?
Yeah.
I mean, prime BJ Penn, Ryan Hall wouldn't last a minute. I mean, even 30. I wouldn't even give 30 seconds against BJ Penn. Any version of Ryan Hall. But now I almost think Ryan Hall's gonna win.
When is that fight?
I don't know, man. So anyway, so the PFL this week though, a lot of these guys that are fighting in the PFL also are guys that went like 5-1 in the UFC. A lot of these Dagestani guys, they're like $1 million. Fuck the UFC. I'm going to this. So that's this Saturday night, by the way.
Where can people watch it?
You can watch it on Facebook Watch, and I'm doing commentary, guys. I'm doing commentary
That's the
on
best
Facebook
part,
Watch.
dude.
Me and Alan Juban are doing commentary on Facebook Watch from my house. So you could do it. You could watch it there from my house, Facebook Watch, and then.
Wait, so are you guys like sitting on your couch like with headsets on?
Yes.
Talking. That's so cool, dude.
Yes, we're doing
That's
that.
That's awesome.
This Saturday night, we're doing that. So make sure you tune in that. So Eddie Gordon is fighting Artur Aliabulatov. Khabib's cousin, who's really good, Abu Bakar Nurmagomedov, is taking on Bojan Volkovich. That should be a good fight. Khabib's cousin is no joke.
I don't think anybody related to Khabib is no joke.
Hopefully Dylan Dennis' cousins in the crowd. We'll jump over the fence and fucking jump on him, and we can do the whole thing over again.
That's so funny.
Rex Harris, he's really good against Lewis Taylor, whose nickname is Put the Guns Down because he wants to end gun violence. He's from Chicago.
It's a nice positive message.
Yeah, we should all do that. Like, you know, like hug a stranger. That should be someone else's nickname. Or like,
don't run away after you hit a pregnant lady in a car.
That's not. There you go. Very specific.
Yeah.
I was thinking more like wear a condom. Adam, wear a condom, Hunter. Pavel Kush is taking Magomed Karimov. So they just took the same first name and last name and added the. I don't know. I'm not really sure why they did that, but fuck it. And then John Howard, who has autism, by the way.
Really? Are you serious?
He has autism, and it was hard because like I write jokes to all these guys, and I didn't want to touch that one because I was just trying to figure out a good way to. And I was like, you know.
Yeah, I got you.
But Shamil Gamzatop. So Shamil, who's undefeated, 12-0. He's fighting John Howard. And then Rick the Horror Story. He was gonna retire and join the fire. He's to become a fireman. And he's like, fuck that. I'm actually I'm doing this against Abadou C and Ray Cooper III against Jake Shields.
Ray Cooper III.
Yeah. Now, Jake beat Ray's father in a fight.
Really?
But then Ray knocked. This is like Creed 2. You know.
Yeah.
But Ray knocked out Jake earlier in the year. So,
are you serious?
Yeah, this is a rematch.
That's interesting, dude. There's a lot of drama on this card.
A lot of drama on this card. Also, Absulyan Magomedov is taking on Ghassan Umalatov. This is good. It's gonna be
a lot of names that are difficult to pronounce, but you know what?
Yeah,
it's no big deal. It's going to be a barn burner.
Someone said it's Dagestan versus the world. Is basically what the.
I'll watch that fight card every single week.
Yeah,
I love the Dagestani fighters are on a different level, dude.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's I heard Lance Palmer last week. I was watching the Facebook Watch. He said that they have high schools over there just for wrestling.
Are you serious? No math, no science.
No, it's like 5. But what do they do? Like course 1 is like takedowns. Course 2 is escapes. Course 3 is like hand control. Just wrestling all day long.
Every single math word problem is about wrestling. If I would do 2 takedowns in 5 minutes,
they don't even do it. Just wrestling.
Yeah,
5 days a week wrestling.
I mean, it shows in their fighters, dude. You got Zabit, Khabib.
You think?
That's all I can name right now at the moment.
It's crazy that these guys are just like, fuck it. Like they're like, you know what? We're just going to school for wrestling. I like. At what point do you determine that which guy is going to go? Like the kid that. Like a 5-year-old, you're just gonna take him out and be like, "Oh, he's beating the other kid up at the playground." Like you're going to wrestling school.
Yeah. Well, I said for sure that dude who's like part of Khabib's team, Islam Makhachev.
Oh, he's good.
I swore he's gonna be champion someday, dude. He's so good, but he was involved in that brawl, sort of. So I don't know if he's gonna be sticking around the UFC or what.
I think he got popped for steroids too a couple years ago.
Are you serious?
I'm pretty sure that was the case.
No, I don't give a fuck. He's good.
So last week, let's talk about some of the fights that happened last week.
In Bellator.
Chael Sonnen, look, I love Chael Sonnen. He's a friend of mine. You know, me and Chael go way back. I don't understand his thought process when it comes to fights sometimes.
Do you think he has a low fight IQ?
I don't know. I think that when you have Fedor and you're on the back of Fedor and you're punching him in the face to do a forward roll.
To try to take his back by flipping 300-pound Fedor over your body.
A move that's like never been done in the history of MMA.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a jiu-jitsu move, I heard, but like, why would you do that? I
Yeah.
mean, people were saying the fight was fixed. I don't think it was fixed because I don't think he could, like when he took those punches and stuff, I don't think it was fixed. I just don't understand the thought process. Like, I understand the spinning back fist against Anderson Silva. Like, everyone's like, why would he do that? And I'm like, all right, I'll give you that. That might have been like, people have landed in spinning back fist before in fights. But to do this move, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I
was very, very surprised with the outcome of that fight. Sort of disappointed because I thought I had high hopes for Chael in that fight. I had Chael winning that fight. And, you know, Chael's one of the dudes in the MMA community where, like, everybody looks up to him because he's so smart and knowledgeable about the sport.
Yeah.
But then when he goes in fights like this, it's kind of funny, dude. But it was cool. Did you see the video when they were backstage after the fight?
Yeah, and then he gave him the sweater.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was cool, but I don't know. That was just weird.
Well, when you watch that fight and then you go back and watch Chael versus Tito in Bellator, and it's like there's also a lot of fishiness going on with that fight too because he tapped out. What happened in that fight again? Chael tapped out when the choke
another move that was strange. He had him and then got reversed.
Yeah,
I'll tell you, I was sitting with Don Fry and Josh Barnett ringside, and I was like, did he throw that fight? And they were like, yes. Okay, those guys. Were like, but then again, I don't think Chael's gonna do that. I don't think he was. I don't know. It was just weird. That was just. I mean, the Tito fight looked a lot more suspicious than this fight because he took some big shots from Fedor. I don't think he's gonna take those shots. And if he does take those shots, why wouldn't he just go down and that would be it? You know. But I don't understand. It was strange. It was really, really strange.
Yeah. I mean, he got rocked in the first 10 seconds of that fight. And there's a lot of turtling up for Chael in the fetal position. And, you know, damn, dude. But who knows? I hope he comes back. I mean,
I don't know.
I love Chael. I love him being in the
People were saying it was the best he's ever looked. I don't think that's the case.
Wait, Chael?
Yeah.
That was the best he's ever looked?
Yeah.
Didn't he used to fight? Was he light heavyweight or 185?
Dude, when he fucked up Brian Stan and when he fucked up Shogun and, you know, when he's beaten a lot of good guys. So he looked great doing it.
What was his weight division in the UFC?
170.
Really?
Oh no, it was a 185. 185.
Okay.
Yeah, 185. No, I want to say 170 against Damian Maia.
Do you think just all this extra weight is making him slower?
I think he's 40 years old, and
That
he hasn't
too.
really taken. I mean, he's also been popped for some juice and stuff. And so I wouldn't say he's taking care of his body well. You start doing that kind of shit and then going off it and going on and off it. That can't be good for your body.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Who's ever looked better after getting popped for roids? I mean, maybe Josh Barnett because he didn't even need it and he was doing it because for looks. I mean, but that's who's ever like gotten off the juice and has looked better.
I don't know, dude.
Nobody.
I don't know. Yeah. What other fights happened on that card? Because
So we'll talk about that right now. So the Fedor, Ben Henderson looked good. He looked great against Sada Wad. This is like, I'm telling you, when I watched Ben Henderson train at the lab, and I got to go to the pro practice. I mean, he was beating up everybody, 100%.
just pure grappling.
Yeah. Oh no,
Or on the feet,
sparring,
too.
everything. And he was like, his wife was like telling him chores while he was fighting, and he was like, "Oh, well, about
Do the dishes.
yeah, do
Fold
right."
your clothes.
And it was amazing. And I'm like, when I watched that fight, I thought, how good does Michael Chandler look? Because Chandler, who beat Henderson pretty bad, and I'm like, wow, Ben Henderson, if he fights the way he practices, he's a tough out. He's amazing. And he beat Sadawad, who's a great fighter.
Yeah.
I actually, Sadawad came to my house one time.
I was there. He was on the podcast.
Yeah, and then remember there were kittens. I had baby kittens in my thing. And it was like me, Saad, Georgie Karakanya, and you, and the other guy. And Saad was playing with the kittens.
Yeah.
And he goes, you're a good guy because I could tell the way you treat animals.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, that's really sweet. Like that sometimes it's the little things people say to you. Like,
Yeah, that's a good dude.
And he's so I like Sadawad a lot. And I think he'll be back. I just think he had a
for
tough-
sure. It was just, I mean, he's probably just not as strong as Benson is when it comes to grappling and wrestling, but I think he wins almost any other fight against another striker, dude, because he's very, very good and powerful for that weight division.
Czech Congo beat Tim Johnson. That one I was shocked.
Dude, that was awesome.
Why was that awesome?
I love Tim Johnson. I love him a lot. He's been on the show, right?
Yeah.
But Czech Congo, the thing I like about Bellator is they have those little like intro things for the fighters when they walk out. Like Czech Congo's is like the lights turned off in the stadium and it says something like the darkness is coming for you or something like that. So I'm like, dude, this is some like Black Panther shit or something. He's coming out he's looking for blood, dude. But that was a very, very surprising knockout.
That was crazy because they didn't even hit him. And Tim Johnson's got a great chin.
Yeah.
I spoke to Tim Johnson after the fight. He said he wants to get a new fight right away. I don't know what the fuck happened to Tim Johnson in that fight.
Well, he's training now with Roy Nelson. I forgot where they train in Vegas.
Yeah, he looks like he's on the Nelson diet. I mean, like, it looks like he's been training at like some kind of buffet. But I like Tim Johnson. I don't get it. The guy could take either Czech Congo hits even harder than I thought he was, or he hit him in the weird spot that just you don't see those fucking spots.
Yeah, Congo's another one of those dudes who's like 45 years old, 55, something like that, and he's on like a 7-fight knockout in the first round.
I remember actually talking to Dana White. One of the first times I met Dana White, I met him in Vegas. We were at some kind of casino, and I was talking about fighting. And Dana, if you're a fight fan, Dana will talk to you for hours. Like doesn't matter who you are. You could be a homeless guy in the corner. If he knows that you know fights, he will give you all the time in the world. Dana's a good guy like that. He really is kind of a man of the people in a lot of ways. For a guy who's worth like fucking billions of dollars, like he doesn't act like it. I mean, sometimes he does act like it when he gets snow for his kid on Christmas or
$5 million birthday party.
Yeah, shit like that where you're like, but even that you're like a lot of I don't know. That is kind of cool.
I mean, the thing is, if I had as much money as he had, I'd be doing the same exact thing, dude, if not bigger than that for my kids, And I generally do love Dana White very much. I know a lot of people don't like him, especially some fighters, but just from like a personal humanistic level, I think he's a genuine good dude.
Speaking of which, he actually the other day someone tweeted at him mad about Cormier fighting the Black Beast, which I actually agree with. I hate to say it, I think Stipe should have gotten that card. I mean, even he said like Cormier did an interview with ESPN, which Stipe posted saying, "Listen, I wouldn't have accepted the short notice fight against against Stipe because he can beat me in a lot of different ways. But I will accept it against Black Beast because there's only one way he can beat me, which is actually very honest of him saying that. But he shouldn't get that fucking call. Like you should, like if the number one guy is Stipe, which it seems like it should have been, he should have had to fight Stipe, short notice or not,
or have Derek Lewis fight Stipe for the
number one spot. Right?
Yeah,
exactly, 1,000%.
Yeah.
So the fact that he even gets to make that call is a problem with the UFC right now, and it's probably with Bellator too, because. And Stipe posts that, and someone else says that, and then they tweet Dana about it, and Dana goes, "Who the fuck who cares what you think? Go watch The View." Goofball.
Go watch The View.
Yeah, and like honestly, go watch The View. Goofball made me laugh for like I was laughing.
But also, I guess you have to take into consideration now, Derek Lewis, I mean, he was before, but he's now like a giant social media star ever since UFC 229.
I don't care.
He gained 2 million followers.
So is Taylor Swift. I know. And you know what? Like I was at the comedy club on Tuesday night, and there's like 3 black comedians like, yo, you see that guy that said like my balls are hot, on fire, and man, I don't want to fight the champ. Like they were all laughing about him. Like yeah, he's a very, very funny guy. However, this is not a fucking comedy show, and it doesn't matter how many. That's what I kind of like about this PFL thing. I'm following these guys. They have 80 followers, and they're up to win $1 million. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
It shouldn't. I shouldn't take into account how many followers you have, how funny you are on Instagram, to why you should get a title shot.
Yeah.
It doesn't. That's not sports. That's not. I understand it's entertainment, but fuck entertainment. Okay, I'm in it for the sport.
So, do you think now Conor McGregor deserves the rematch against Khabib, or do you think he should just go to Tony? Since Conor was champion,
I could see it both ways. You know. McGregor was a very effective champion, and he didn't defend the belt very often.
But he earned the title.
But the way he was beating people, the way he beat Aldo, the way he beat Eddie Alvarez, the way he beat even Chad Mendes, even though he kind of lost that fight, you could argue yes, okay? But the way he got beat by Khabib, dominated, knocked down on the feet, maybe he won round 3. I kind of gave him round 3, but no, you know, whereas Ferguson hasn't lost in, 4 years? 5 years?
Time, yeah.
When was the last time Ferguson lost? It was Danny Castillo? Is that who beat? I mean,
I don't even know,
dude. It was a long time ago. I think it was against Danny Castillo, I believe. So I would rather see Khabib Ferguson.
Yeah, I haven't talked to anybody who'd rather see Conor Khabib too. That fight, I think it goes exactly the same way the first fight went. But here's another thing. What do you think about, or do you think the UFC should do this in the first place, is make that 165 division. So because there's such a big clusterfuck in the 155 with all these, like, you got Tony, Dustin, Nate, all these like great prospects, and people love to watch these guys fight. Don't you think it'd be better to sort of disperse all that cluster to bring him to the 165? Yes, but then what do you do at
170?
I don't know.
That's what everyone doesn't think about. Then so now that's 5 pounds. So it's 155, 165, 170.
I guess you do 162.5.
Oh, shut up! Weight division. Then you got to make 175 the weight class. So then what do you do with Tyron Woodley and all these 170 guys? So now that the problem is not the 165, it's the weight class above it. So that you go 55, 65, 70. So now it's even more of a clusterfuck.
Yeah, because then you're gonna have all these different champions want to fight each other for each other's belts.
So then what do you do? Do you take Woodley's belt away?
Yeah. I didn't even realize 165 was only 5 pounds away from 70.
That's the issue. That's what everyone's thinking about.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh, they're going to make it 65, but then you got to make it a 75. So you go, okay, everyone at 170 is now 175. Okay, but what about the guys who are also in the middle, who can make 170, but they can't make 165, but now they're too small for 175. So that's the issue right there. Which I don't think is that big of an issue. I think you could make a 175, and you could just say Woodley's now the 175-pound champion.
Right.
But you're gonna have an issue. So I mean, like, look, the issue is the difference between how to do it now is 155, 170, 15 pounds, 185, and then 205, which is 20 pounds. So if you make a 175, then now is that too close to 185? What about 185 pounders who can make 175 but can't make 170? Right? So then those guys then drop down.
Yeah.
So then do you make it 190? And then you make it 210. I mean, do you might as well do a 230? Follow the guys that are fucking can make 230, but then you have a super heavyweight 275. So that's the issue there.
Damn it.
So yeah, I mean, there is 165. There are a lot of guys in there who would be good in that weight class. Colby Covington would be good. James Krause would be good. Khabib would probably be good. He said, or. There's a lot of guys that maybe Ben Askren said he would go to 165. So there are a lot of guys out there that could make it, but that's the problem. So
damn, dude.
What?
I mean, that's crazy. I didn't take that 5 pound difference into consideration.
A lot of people don't. A lot of people don't do that. So all right. So then also Henry Corrales won his fight. That was pretty cool. This other guy won on Saturday night in who's this guy? There was a guy that won in 7 seconds. I think that was on. Oh, so Bellator was weird this week. They had a thing on Friday night as well.
Yeah, it was Bader
and Mitrione.
Yeah,
and Bader just fucking destroyed him.
Yeah,
I don't know what Bader's on. I mean, I don't know how you get a 6-pack by moving up 20 pounds. I don't know if he's done anything, but he looked fucking great. He just destroyed Mitrione.
He's probably gonna win the entire contest.
I don't see Fedor beating him. At the same time, his chin sometimes is a little suspicious.
Wouldn't that be awesome if Fedor actually won that shit, dude?
That's probably what they're hoping.
Yeah.
And I thought Fedor was done. When Fedor barely beat that dude, what's that guy's name? The guy that fought Kyle fucking... Oh, there was a guy he fought that, just takes fucking... I forgot the guy's name, but...
In Bellator?
No, it was in some Polish or English. It was some crazy fight, but... There was a while where Fedor I thought was done when Dan Henderson knocked him out.
Oh, was it the controversial decision?
Yeah, that fight.
I don't know the dude's name, but
I love that guy. The guy is great, but I forgot the guy's name. But when he barely beat that guy, and I thought he lost to that guy, I'll look right now. What's the guy's name? That's when I thought Fedor was done. But I don't know, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean.
It's kind of weird that Bellator had 2 events back to back. I didn't even know about the Bader Mitrione card. I just thought Chael was fighting. Bader, whatever his name is. I just thought that it was a Chael card that night or that weekend.
Yeah, a lot of people don't do that. Bellator does great where they don't tell anybody.
I love going on Instagram and seeing Roy Nelson getting knocked out.
Fabio Maldonado.
Yeah, that's who it is.
That's the guy. Yeah, Roy Nelson. I mean, I love Roy Nelson, but I don't know what he's doing either. He looks like he didn't train at all.
I think he looks like that for all of his fights physically.
Yeah. And I like Roy. I'll watch Roy Nelson fight any day. But he's another guy where man, how many punches is this guy going to take? Mm-hmm. I mean, come on, man.
But that's the first time he's actually been knocked out, isn't it?
Well,
but he says he's taking some damage, I guess.
He once punched himself when Carl Jr. was close and knocked himself out.
Oh my God.
But yeah, Roy Nelson. Yeah. So what else? That was crazy. That guy looked really good. That Russian dude looked really good. Really good. And then also on that card, Lorenz Larkin won. So it was good to watch that guy win. Kimbo Slice's kid lost.
Baby Slice,
man. Baby Slice. I think the Baby Slice experiment. He may have to go to LFA or get some. I think Bellator's. It's too much for him.
Is he on a losing streak?
He's 2-2 or maybe 3-2, but he fought a guy that they brought in for him to knock out. Mm-hmm. The guy was good on his feet, but not really. He was really good at jiu-jitsu, and he out-harded him. I mean, Kimbo is really good Baby Slice is good for 30 seconds, and then he just kind of gives up, and he kind of gave up against this kid. Mm-hmm. Corey Browning is his name, and I don't know, man. I don't know about this Kimbo Jr. kid. I like him. And then my friend Christy Lopez lost. Mike Kimball's the guy who won in 6 seconds. He won in 6 seconds, and it was cool. After the fight, he's like, man, I didn't get laid for a month, and I cut out fucking sweets, candy, and sex. It was Mike Kimball. Good job.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I like.
So he was upset that he won so fast?
No, he was happy.
Oh.
But yeah, this kid has skills. He has legit skills. So
that's awesome. When's the next UFC event?
The next UFC event. Good question, Joe.
I don't even know who's fighting on it.
I think it might be the Frankie Edgar one.
Oh,
next
Korean
UFC
Zombie?
fight is Volkan versus Anthony Smith.
Oh shit, that's a good one.
It's in Canada, October 27th.
Legal weed all across the country in Canada.
Michael Johnson is taking on
Artem Lobov.
Artem Lobov.
That's on this card? They just made that fight too.
Yeah. Well, because it was supposed to be the other guy. It was Khabib's friend.
Oh, yeah.
Who got suspended. And Khabib tweeted out, like, if you don't let my friend fight, I'm done.
Uh-huh.
You see what he tweeted out?
Yeah, I saw that.
That was pretty damn cool.
Yeah, I'm going to leave the UFC.
And then, like, keep the money. So I got Anthony Smith over Volkan. I got Michael Johnson destroying Lobov.
But he's the GOAT, dude. He's
Come
the
on.
GOAT.
I like him,
He's
but
smash Michael
he's the one who started
Johnson.
this whole fucking thing. Him getting slapped started everything.
I know.
Yeah.
He's the greatest of all time, dude. He's gonna be the champion in every
Why
single
does
weight
everyone
division.
make fun of the guy? I mean, the guy's all he is Connor's friend. He seems like a nice enough guy.
I mean, he's actually very, very smart too. He speaks like 4 different languages.
Yeah.
He's very intelligent, but he's like a giant meme on MMA social
understand
media. I don't
why.
know where it came from.
Because I bet he almost won the Ultimate Fighter. He lost to Ryan Hall. I think he got cut, and then Connor like begged him to put him back on. He
Yeah.
did pretty good, but everyone shits on this guy.
I think it's just because he's Connor's sidekick, and
and he loses most of his fights. But I like him.
I love Artem, dude. I hope he wins.
I hope no against Michael Johnson.
Yeah,
Come on,
dude.
man.
Come on, I want him to jump on the cage.
Gian Vellante versus Ed Herman. Should be a good fight.
Yeah.
Gian Vallante's another guy who like could be undefeated if he just move his head. Patrick Cummings against Misha Serkinov. That should be a good fight.
I like Patrick Cummins because he always looks like he got hit by a train in every single one of his fights.
He hasn't been performing very well though.
Yeah.
He's got to pick it up. Sean Strickland versus Nordine Kalab. Calvin Kattar is fighting, and Sarah Moras is fighting Talita Bernardo. I don't know who that is, but fuck it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good card though. So that's the next UFC, and then the UFC after that is Cormier Lewis.
It's so crazy. I can't believe they're making that fight. I can't believe it. I hope Derek Lewis wins. That would be so funny, dude, if he's a champion.
There's a part of me that wants to see him to be champion.
Yeah, all right.
But I don't think it's going to happen.
I feel like he's a dude who won't even give a fuck if he wins. Like,
No,
I'm gonna go
if he
home,
wins,
do some Popeyes.
Or I could see him like getting a blowjob during the interview or
Yeah.
something for some chick. He basically said, "I'm gonna go eat my wife's pussy." After he won,
Mm-hmm.
Karen Bryant was like, "What are you gonna do tonight?" He's like, "I'm gonna put my wife's legs in the air and chow down." Like, he's
That's so fun. I love him, dude. I want him to be champion. But I also love DC. DC it's so funny how he started out like in the whole when he was feuding with John Jones, even though he still is. He was always getting booed. People hated DC. But now he's like the people's champ, dude. Everybody loves him.
I think being an announcer has helped a lot for him.
Yeah. I love when he announces.
People got to know him, and they realized that like how good of a guy he is, but how much he knows and likable. I think that was the best thing to happen for his popularity.
Yeah, I love him.
All right, so
Good for him.
let's call Jessica I, see if she's gonna pick up. Hello. Fuck. Why is it not working? Help. Pause it.
Hello.
Is this Lance, the party starter? Palmer?
Yes, sir.
Nah, you're on the MMA
up,
Roasted
man?
Podcast. Now, are you? I thought you were the party starter, but then now you're the party. Is it? Did you take away starter?
No, I'm just the party. I always have been.
Oh, I thought you were the party starter.
I'm the starter, the ender, the reach arounder, whatever you want me to be.
Wow, the reach arounder. That fucking Team Alpha Male. That must have been. I guess that's how you and Uriah got so close.
Oh yeah, it was a big hit. That's how we got so close.
Yeah, hell yeah. By the way, I actually I watched you on Facebook Live last week on the PFL. You did a really good job.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I've been trying to get some broadcasting stuff going, but it just hasn't really come about. Just because the cards that I've been on, obviously I can't do, but I'd like to do it on the cards that I'm not on. So hopefully that's something we can do for season 2.
No, you did a good job. Actually, I was interested because there was some stuff you were saying about how you went to Dagestan and they have high schools just for wrestling.
Yeah, their schooling is literally like gymnastics or wrestling or sambo or like it's really just how it's just a really different culture over there because I wrestled in Dagestan when I was about 15 years old. We did a tour over there with Athletes in Action. So I kind of learned a lot about their culture and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool.
So there's no math, English, science, just wrestling all day.
I mean, I know they have schooling, but you go to like a school of wrestling or a school of sambo and stuff like that. So you can literally just go to school since you're a little kid all the way up, because the Russian government does a lot with their Olympic team, and they're very involved in sports out there. So there's a lot of backing for Olympic sports.
That's crazy, man. That is.
It is. It's a whole different culture. It's pretty cool though.
And how did the Dagestanis treat you over there?
They were actually they're really welcoming, honestly. I mean, Dagestan was, the Southern Caucasus was the tour that we did, and there are a lot of tough wrestlers that come out of there, and there's a lot of 15-year-old kids that, like, I was wrestling at 15 years old over there. Kids are doing, collegiate and international level moves at that high school age. I mean, they're learning this stuff at such a young age, and they're doing it every day in and day out. And they're really talented, and that's what was really intriguing to me, is like that's all they do, and they really immerse themselves in that. So, because it's a rough life over there. I mean, we had armored vans. We stayed in a hotel that had armed guards and stuff like that, and big walls blocking people out. So it was pretty crazy.
Now, what is it about? Like, I talked to Al Iaquinta. Al Iaquinta was, I think, a second in the state of New York wrestler, wrestled for Nassau Community College. I believe he placed in junior college. But he said when he fought Khabib, it was a different kind of strength. Now, what is that from? Is that from lifting like rocks all day, or bears, or trees? Like, what did he mean by that, and how does that happen?
I think it's just the level of wrestling. You learn how to use your body. You learn how to use your hips. You learn different pressure without having to use all your energy to sap out the other guy's energy. And that's probably what Al was talking about. I mean, it's just a whole different game when you get to that level of grappling or wrestling or, any type of style like that. It's learned over so many years and so many repetitions of doing it a certain way.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. There's a kid on my team that I coach from Chechnya who, it's like that. It's like he didn't look very, imposing, but he has this. He can throw kids across the mat, and it just has that like inner core strength, and I think that's part of it. Let's talk about you, man. So you are now fighting on New Year's Eve for $1 million.
What's that? Sorry, you cut out.
So you're fighting New Year's Eve for $1 million.
Yep, it's actually for $900,000 because the $100,000 of the tournament was given to us after the semifinals.
Oh, well, that's bullshit. Then don't even fight then. All right, so
I know.
so you're fighting for $900,000. Now, if you lose, what do you get?
I think you get 100. I'm not sure.
100,000.
I know you get paid. I'm pretty sure the deal was 100 because they had to split it between. They basically split the 100 and the 900 for the finals, so the loser still gets something for fighting. Now I'm pretty sure that's how they broke it down.
And you had a really, really tough go at this. I mean, you fought Andre Harrison, who beat you. Andre was undefeated. He was a good wrestler, tough kid, and you worked him, man. Tell us about that fight. Were you nervous going into that? Were you confident? I mean, knowing that you lost the first time. Talk to us.
I was really excited going into that one because some people don't know, but the first time I fought him, I broke my hand in the first minute and a half of the first round, and it was a really tough fight to fight with one hand. I couldn't use any grappling. The punches I did throw with my left hand, I couldn't really make a full fist. Since it was the second time breaking that same metacarpal, it just swelled up like a balloon instantly, and it was one of those things where I basically had to fight him with one limb missing. And coming out of that fight, after I had told the media that I broke my hand and had surgery and stuff like that, him and his team were kind of saying that wouldn't have mattered no matter what happened, whether I was healthy or not, and that I was just using that as an excuse because I lost. And I'm like, if I lose a fight fair and square, yeah, I mean, I lost the fight, and I even said I lost that fight to him regardless of breaking my hand, but I feel that if I would have broken my hand, it would have been a totally different game. And so I really wanted to prove that I could out-wrestle, out-grapple him, and really make him useless on the ground. And so I feel that I proved that 2 weekends ago.
No, you did, man. I mean, you beat him 2 out of 3 rounds. The first, maybe even 3 rounds to nothing. That first round, you dominated Max Koga, but he almost. Were you nervous at all? In that he kind of hit you with a submission, right, late in the fight. Was it close?
No, it wasn't. I guess it looked really bad on Facebook Live from what people were saying, but I've been in really bad positions with Dustin Akbari, Chris Holdsworth, guys at 10th Planet, some of the best ankle lockers in the game, and I wasn't even tweaked. He didn't really have my ankle locked correctly, and I was in a position where I could have just spun out, but then we could have gone back to our feet where he's comfortable. So I wanted to stay there, and knowing that he didn't really have the knowledge to finish me from there, I just kind of stayed there, and I was comfortable there. If I felt like I was in a position where I really needed to get out from there, I would have been able to spin out because he didn't have the legs locked correctly.
Got it. Yeah, I was nervous for you, but I was like, fuck, I hope he doesn't. Now, was there any chance of you tapping, even if he had it right, knowing the $1 million in the line, he has your ankle, was there any chance of you tapping?
No.
So
I would have let that thing rip off just to win that, because even if he wins that round, I won the first round, so I would have won the fight. And then even if my ankle was bad, I would have gone into the fight, taking Harrison down, knowing that, my ankle was hurt, knowing that I needed to get it down, and I probably would try to take her.
Now, how many people are hitting you up right now? I know you're married. You got a great girl, hot girl. I know your family's and thing. Are people already hitting you up for money? Are they already assuming that you're going to win $1 million?
Oh, my dad, but he's been hitting me up for money for years.
Yeah.
Everybody's cool. I mean, I'm the type of person that's been down to earth. No matter whether I'm poor, whether I make $150,000 a fight, it doesn't really matter to me. I mean, the money is cool, but it's more for me the pride of winning the first season and being the first featherweight champ of the PFL season 1. And I was the first finalist technically because my semifinal fight was before Seiler. So, and it was actually technically the first semifinal fight of this whole season. So I'm the first finalist of PFL, and that stuff like that's more impressive to me, for the history books than actually. I mean, the money's cool, but money comes and goes.
Now, Steven Seiler is a tough guy. I mean, he's one of those guys you have to kill to beat. He's never out of a fight, and you're probably going to be the heavy favorite. Are you planning on just demolishing this guy, or do you just want to take him down, ride him out, just get that win?
Well, I know he's tough. I mean, I dominated him last year, and he was hard to put away, and I ended up winning a decision. But he's a guy that, you're right, you really have to kill him to put him away. I dropped him in the first round with the left hand, and Yamasaki kind of jumped in and jumped out and made it kind of weird for a second. But I feel that I could have finished him if it wasn't for that. But I landed some heavy shots of ground and pound right after I dropped him, and he was still there. So he's definitely a tough guy, and he has some sneaky submissions too. I mean, he can kind of catch guys shooting in with guillotines, and he's pretty squirrely off his back with triangle attempts and arm bars and stuff like that. But I feel if I just stay composed, stay sharp, that I should be able to go in and dominate. But obviously, 1 year apart from our last fight is a long time. He's changed gyms to train. I changed gyms to train. I feel like we've both gotten better. So it's going to be an exciting fight, and I'm looking forward to it. He's always a tough competitor. He always shows up.
Now, you left Team Alpha Male. You're at Extreme Couture now, right?
Yeah. Yep. I've been at Extreme. I kind of train at a few different gyms, but I consider Extreme Couture my home now. And, I go to 10th Planet with Coach Casey Halstead over there. He's one of Eddie Bravo's black belts. And then I go to the UFC Performance Institute when I train with Joseph Benavidez, and I do a lot of strength and conditioning work and recovery work over there as well. So I use a lot of people in Vegas don't really use all the assets they have available there. There's a lot of different places to train there, a lot of people to learn from. So I'm just kind of soaking it all in.
Was there any resentment amongst Team Alpha Male? Because you were a very important guy over there when you left.
I don't think so. I mean, after I fought Harrison in March of 2017, my wife and I moved from Sacramento to Columbus, Ohio, kind of just to grow our roots back in Ohio again and kind of get settled in before we decided to start having kids. So it was more of a family move than than an actual team thing, because I didn't really know where I was going to be training for this season until about March when I went out to train with Benavidez. He's like, hey, man, why don't you come out for a week and train? We can hang out, get some training in. And Joe's one of my best friends that I've met through MMA. And, I consider him a very close family friend as well. So I went out there, trained for a week, and then I decided that I was going to do my first camp there. Since he fought the day after me when he fought Pettis in Chicago, my first fight in New York was the day before him. So we kind of did our first camp together. Everything went smoothly. I have some great training partners out there, some new styles, some just new looks. That's basically all it was. I mean, I've trained with all the guys at Alpha Male the last 7.5 years, and when you train with the same people and the same styles for so long, you don't really realize that you're not evolving as much as you could be. So it was just more of a fresh change. It was nothing against Alpha Male or, nothing they had against me or nothing I had against them. It was just I feel like I wanted to do something different, and I feel like it's helped me a lot this year.
So you weren't involved in that Justin Buchholz controversy or any of that?
No, he was actually in Alaska when I did my camp for Seiler last fall, and he went to Alaska for a month to visit his family, and that was during the beginning of Cody Garbrandt's camp when he fought Dillashaw the first time. So there was a lot of controversy going on, and I was staying with a buddy that lived out there still, and I was doing my camp there away from home, and I was just kind of doing my own thing, and that's when I realized, I was like, man, I need some structure. We used to have great structure at Alpha Male, and I felt like it was kind of falling to the wayside a little bit. So I basically did that whole camp by myself, had my own people put together for that camp, my own coaches outside of the gym as well. So it was one of those things where I was like, well, I guess this is a good thing. It kind of showed me that I needed to branch out a little bit, kind of, spread my wings and do my own thing a little bit. So it was a good thing, but I'm still great friends with Buchholz. I actually just texted with him yesterday.
Okay, so the guys weren't texting you like, oh my God, we hate Buchholz, treehouse meeting kind of thing, and then you were texting back, like you weren't like in the middle of it?
No, not at all. I mean, nobody really texted about it. It was more of a thing where Buchholz and Faber kind of had a little feud, and then at that point I wasn't really around because I was back home after my fight. I had my wedding the week after I fought Seiler last year, so there was like a whole 3-month period where I was kind of out of the loop with what was going on over there after Cody had lost to TJ and all that stuff was going on. It kind of simmered down, and then I found out that it was kind of just an executive decision by Faber to kind of say that Buchholz wasn't going to be coaching there anymore, and so it wasn't really that Buchholz quit. It was more that he went home for a month to visit his family, and a few guys didn't really like that because they were in camp or they needed him or something like that, and then they basically just kind of cut him as the head coach, I guess you could say. But I don't know. I wasn't really involved with it, so I don't really know the backstory behind it.
Were you surprised that Cody lost to Dillashaw the second time?
Honestly, the way that Dillashaw's camp is set up and the way that Dillashaw does things, and the way that things are going at Alpha Male with like a structured setting, I wasn't that surprised. But I'm great friends with both of those guys. I didn't really have a favorite going into the fight. Like I like both those guys a lot. I've been great friends. Like I've known Cody since he was 13 years old. I was one of the big influences of him moving to Alpha Male in the first place. Early in his career. TJ I've known since the beginning of my career. TJ kind of took me under his wing when I was there, and I went and traveled around with him and trained in Vegas and LA and a bunch of different places when I first started training. So I didn't really have like, man, I hope this guy wins or this guy wins. I just hoped that they would have a good fight and neither of them would really get injured in the fight. And that's kind of how I left it. And, when TJ was very composed, and he went out there and he's a smart fighter. He's not a guy you can just go out there and just throw bombs because TJ's going to fight smart and TJ's going to do what it takes to win. So that part of it, I kind of had the feeling that TJ was going to win because he seemed more focused. But other than that, that was about all I had invested in it.
Yeah, no, it was. I was there, and I was shocked. I thought Cody was going to catch him the second time. He learned his mistakes, but I was shocked. But
I just feel like he needed to regroup and kind of get more focused. I think he was focused on a little more things outside of fighting, which is great. But
yeah,
if fighting is what you want to do, and if you want to win that belt back, you got to kind of zone in and I don't know if he was fully focused, but I can't really say because I wasn't there and I wasn't really a part of his camp for that one.
So now you have about 2 months, actually about a month and a half for this fight. Have you started? Are you started training for Siler yet, or are you kind of gonna wait till November, or how are you gonna do it?
Yeah, so I'm back home in Ohio for the next week and a half, and then I fly out to Denver for Joe Benavidez fight week, and then. But I'm training. I'm doing conditioning. I'm doing strength training. I'm wrestling. When I do private training with some of the high school guys here, like this kid Connor Brady, he's a senior this year. He's ranked number 2 in the country at 152. He's a guy that I actually drill and wrestle with when I do private lessons with him. So I get training in a few days a week with that. I do conditioning training. I run hills. I run stairs. I do a lot of different training when I'm at home to kind of let my body heal but not get out of shape.
Right.
And then I'll spend the last 8 weeks, hitting it really hard in Vegas and get ready for these 5 rounds and to win this belt.
Well, listen, good luck, man. Can't wait to watch it. You earned it. Now, if you win the $1 million, are you going to do it again next year? Try to win another $1 million?
Yeah, so that's part of the contract. If you win the tournament, you automatically have to do the next year's tournament. So I'll be in there for the first fight in May, when I win this belt, and we'll go from there. But honestly, just like this season when I took it one fight at a time, even 2 weeks ago, I was just focused on fighting Max Koga and whoever it was, the second fight that night, whoever it may be after my fight was done with Koga, then I focused on that. But I do a pretty good job of staying focused on what's right ahead of me, and right now Siler's the only thing in the way of the rest of that $1 million. So I'm excited for this one.
Well, keep up the great work, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Take care, brother.
Later, brother.
All right, that was Lance, the party starter, or the party. Palmer.
The party ender, the reach arounder.
Jesus, that's crazy, huh?
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Good dude, but all right, what's up, people? Listen, I want you guys to look better and feel better, all right? And 66% of men lose their hair by age 35. I know I'm 40. I've been losing it for a while, okay? It's not good. People make forehead jokes at me. They're like, Adam, can you DVR your dreams? All kinds of stuff, all right? I know it. And listen, the thing is, when you start to notice your hair loss, it's too late. It's already over. It's a wrap. Is that hairline slowly starting to move backwards? Huh? Any bald spots yet? How would you feel if a year from now, if it's business as usual up there? I ask you, do you want a bald spot to pop up? Or do you want to do something about it first? Listen, strike first. It's like the Cobra Kai used to say, strike first. Well, thank God for forhims.com. It's a one-stop shop for hair loss, skincare, sexual wellness for men. They connect you to real doctors with medical-grade solutions to treat hair loss. Well-known generic equivalents to name-brand prescriptions to help you keep your hair. No snake oil pills or gas station counter supplements. No, it's so easy. You answer a few questions, a doctor will review and prescribe you everything. Okay, listen, order now. My listeners get a month, trial month of Hims for just $5 today, right now while supplies last. See the website for full details. That would cost hundreds if you went to the doctor or the pharmacy. Go to forhims.com/roasted. That's forhims.com/roasted. forhims.com/roasted. Also, I want you guys to have more money, okay? The more money you have, sometimes the easier life is. Well, Robinhood is an investing app that lets you buy and sell stocks, ETFs, options, and cryptos, all commission-free. They strive to make financial services work for everyone, not just for the wealthy, okay? It's a simple and intuitive, clear design with the data presented in an easy-to-digest way, all right? I'm telling you, they got no commission fees. Other brokerages charge up to $10 for every trade, but Robinhood doesn't charge commission fees, okay? It doesn't keep all your profits. It's easy to use, okay? They have a web platform, also lets you view stocks, collections, and you can learn by doing. Learn how to invest as you build your portfolio. Discover new stocks and track favorite companies with personalized news feed. They got custom notifications for price movements, so you never miss the right moment to invest. All right? Well, this is even better because Robinhood is giving listeners a free stock like Apple, Ford, or Sprint to help you build your portfolio. Just sign up at MMARoasted.robinhood.com. That's MMARoasted.robinhood.com. I want you guys to make some money, so go there now. $900,000. I could use that money.
900?
Well, you can probably keep half of it, right? You gotta put like half the taxes.
Yeah, a lot of it goes to taxes. People they don't realize if you like, especially in California. I guess it varies state by state. But if like you win, even on a game show, if you win $1 million, you're not a millionaire because the taxes it takes away half of that shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So who knows? I know the big lottery in California is $650 million right now.
I'm gonna play it tonight. You?
When is it? When's the drawing?
I think it's tonight.
Are you serious?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh shit! I gotta go. Let's end this podcast, and I gotta get some tickets.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, I'll give you a couple million if I win.
Would you really?
Hell yeah.
Would you really?
Probably not. Just kidding, of course. I invested all into a big podcast studio for Weendawg Radio.
Yes.
MMA Roasted.
Yeah.
That's it, dude.
Yeah, exactly. So let's call Jamie Moyle. Let's call this beautiful, tough fighter. I don't know what she's up to.
She hasn't fought in a while, has she?
She lost her last fight. Remember she lost to that girl who then called out Vinny Magalish?
No, I don't remember.
Yeah. She fought a girl, and then the girl got mad at Vinny Magalish because Vinny said that he was going to train her and would never coach against her, and then he did. It was just crazy. Against Deanna, who was it? It was look up Jamie Moyle's last fight.
We gotta get down to the bottom of this, dude.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. Like I've never seen someone call out the trainer after the fight. All right,
Gotta get down to the bottom. Jamie Moyle. She's pretty cute too.
Very cute. She's half Asian. Very, very cute.
What is she mixed with? Other? Is it white?
Hopefully my dick. No, I'm kidding.
Last fight.
Yeah, she's definitely a girl that I would
Like Asian and white.
try to disappoint if I was single.
It was Emily Whitmore.
Yeah. Emily then called out Vinny Magalish.
Hello?
Is this Jamie Moyle?
Jamie Moyle.
You're on the MMA Roasted Podcast. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Last time I saw you was in Sacramento. You looked adorable. You were a little drunk after the show, so I made sure that you got a ride home because I was worried about you because you're so adorable, and that was it. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm just hanging out at home waiting for you guys to call.
Nice. So are you still living in Sacramento?
Yeah, I'm still in Sac. I'll be here for a couple more years, just training and whatnot.
And how's that going?
It's good. It's great. Gym is freaking amazing. Couldn't ask for more.
So you're at Team Alpha Male. You're with Killers over there. Who are some of the girls you're training with?
I am training with Cynthia Calvillo, number one spicy savage over there.
Yes.
Sarah McMahon, who's very, very pregnant right now, so she's not really training.
Yes.
There's just like a handful of like amateurs girls, but
Nice.
all like really tough, really focused girls.
Good. Well, yeah. I like Cynthia a lot. She came on the podcast recently. She's a fun girl, a fun person. So do you have a fight coming up or anything scheduled or what's new with you?
I have a fight December 15th for Invicta, so that's kind of new.
Nice.
I re-signed with Invicta. Are we doing this right now? Is this happening?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, okay. My bad. Yeah, so I re-signed with Invicta and there for a couple more fights, get some wins, and just work hard, focus, and see where it takes me.
That's great. Now, where is this fight and who are you fighting?
Oh shoot, I can't talk about this right now, honestly.
Okay, all right, okay, no problem. Okay, so but is it public knowledge you signed with Invicta? Can we say that or no?
Yeah, I can say that.
Okay, all right. So you're fighting for Invicta December 15th. I'm excited. Is it in Kansas City? Is it in Vegas? Is it in Oklahoma? Do we know where the fight is?
I do, and I I'm not. I don't even think I was supposed to say the date. Just now,
Okay,
but
all right,
I think
so-
it'll be announced.
All right. So, all
I
right.
think
All right.
it'll be
Okay.
announced in the next week.
Okay.
So no big deal.
Don't worry. It's all good. All right. Well, I'm excited. Okay, because you are a great fighter. You've had some great fights. Your fight against JJ Aldrich. You finished her. You beat Amy Montenegro. You beat Kaylin Curran. That was a war. I was at that fight. I was at most of your fights actually. I wasn't at the one in Brazil, and then I was at the Emily Whitmire fight. That was a very close fight. And we were talking about it after the fight. She called out your coach, Vinny Magalish. That was a little strange, but
I mean, Vinny trains at her gym, so I guess it's understandable,
But why was he coaching you? Weren't you a team alpha male? Why was he in your corner?
Because Vinny's been my coach for years. Like I'm under Vinny. Like I've been belted under Vinny, so he's always had my back, and we've always stayed friends and everything. So he made it sound like it was cool, and I was like, all right, it's not like we were like spying on her or anything like that. So it didn't seem like a big deal.
Yeah, that was hilarious. I've never seen anyone call out the coach before. That was very entertaining. Now, Vinny, by the way, is fighting for $1 million. All of a sudden, $1 million is on the line, and Vinny's like the greatest fighter in the world. He's head kicking.
Right.
He's head kicking. Other fights, he goes in there with a beer belly. He loses to guys that you're like, I can beat. And now all of a sudden, $1 million, he's like doing spinning wheel kicks, and just no one's even coming close to beating him. I'm like, what is going on here? It's fucking crazy.
Right? Like 4 first-round finishes. He's on fire.
Yeah, he's killing it. He's absolutely killing it. Now, Jamie, you came on the podcast. It seemed like you and Hanato were very flirty. I know he's a rival of Vinny, but it seemed like there was sparks there. Did you and Hanato ever fornicate, or did anything ever happen?
No, unfortunately, we did not.
Got it.
No.
All right. So that was
I've never actually met Hanato, but it was fun to like mess around and joke around with him.
Oh, okay.
But,
So it was all talk. There was no actually fluids exchanged or anything. Do you have a boyfriend in Sacramento? Are you still single? What's going on?
Yeah, you crack me up.
Thank you.
Yeah, I actually just started seeing somebody.
Ooh. Who is it?
Who is it?
Yeah. Is it?
His name is Bart, and he's a tattoo artist.
All right.
Back.
Bart, the tattoo artist. Nice. All right. Now, and how did Bart pick you up? Were you getting a tattoo, and then he was like, "I got you down for 2 hours. I'm gonna wow you with my charm." Is that how it went down?
No. So this gym is actually like a street away from the old Team Alpha Male. So I guess some of the guys used to get sponsored and used to come into the tattoo shop a lot. And I was just walking by with my friends one day, and they got some like really crazy art and like crazy zombie dolls and Bruce Lee and stuff like that in the front window. So we were like, oh, let's go check it out. And I went and met the owner of the shop, and he was kind of like trying to set me up with Bart because he just moved here from the UK actually, and
the British guy.
I guess needed some company, and it just kind of happened like that. It was like a few weeks ago, and
cool. So you've been dating him 2 weeks?
For a few weeks, but I mean, I've never like really felt like this before, especially after a couple weeks.
It's got to be the accent, right? The accent kind of, when women go crazy, like all of a sudden, the British accent, all of a sudden it's like slugs on the ground. It's crazy.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess that's what it must be.
So Bart picks you up now. Does he take you out for a date? Does he take you to dinner, or is just Netflix and chill? How did it go?
It was actually a really awkward thing that happened. I showed up to hang out, and I don't really drink that much, but when I do, I rage. So, like, I showed up to hang out because the owner of the shop was like, oh, come hang out tonight, come have drinks at the shop. So I, like, showed up to shop, like, a bottle of wine deep, right? Like, already really drunk, pretty small, haven't really eaten, so I'm drunk. Drunkity drunk.
Right.
And I get there. And he fucking drinks, like, shots of Hennessy. So we're, like, taking a bunch of shots. And pretty much what happened was I got really sick, threw all over the patio, and he, like, took care of me all night long.
I know. So that's like the move for some guys. They get these girls. Look at that. That's a move. A lot of these guys, they get the girls drunk, and then they don't sleep with them or anything, but they like take care of them. And then the women fall in love. Like, what a sweet guy. He took care of me when I was drunk and helpless and didn't take advantage of me. A lot of these guys are interesting. Now, can you beat him up in a fight?
I mean, he's not like an athlete, or he's never trained anything like that. So I mean,
yes. Now, a lot of times, like with Sarah McMahon, said she would never date a guy that she could beat up. So it's probably like 99% of the population she could never date. Now, but does that bother you at all, or no?
No, that doesn't bother me. I mean, I've been around so many fighters, and like, I've never really like wanted to get serious with any of them, except for like the last guy I dated like years ago.
Right.
So I mean, why would it have to be like that? Like, you like who you like, and it doesn't matter what they do, or it doesn't matter, right? Like, to me, like, I'm not gonna fight my fucking boyfriend, so why do I need him to be able to like beat me up? Like, I can protect myself, he can handle himself, and I don't know. Some of the guys at the gym were asking me the same question, like, do you think you could date somebody who doesn't fight? And I mean, I think that's more of like the man's perspective. Like, would you date a woman that could whip your ass? Like, would that make you feel emasculated? Like, that's what it is. It's like the man's feeling. It's not my feeling, you know?
Right. No, I have dated women that whip my ass, actually, and I don't mind it. It's just hard sometimes when we had sex when I couldn't sweep her. Like, she was on top, and I wanted to get on top, but she had really good hip control, and then I couldn't. I couldn't.
Are we talking jiu-jitsu?
Well, she was like a black belt, and I was like, "Fuck, hey, is it okay if I get on top right now because I can't sweep you?" So that was.
Please, babe, let me get on top.
Yeah, I had to tap, and then she thought it was over, and then I jumped on top of her again, and restarted from the top. So that was good. Now you're a very attractive woman. You're half Japanese, right?
Yes.
Yes. So I would say when you walk into Team Alpha Male, a lot of those guys out there, those college wrestlers, the Tyler Diamonds of the world, and the other guys. Now I know Tyler has a girlfriend, and so does Touchy Feely. But are they making a pass at you, or are they like, look at this one over here? Are they kind of like trying to get in your pants, or are they just respectful and none of them ever made a move?
I don't really put myself out there like that, so I think I've formed more like kind of brotherly relationships with most of those guys.
Like Alabama brotherly, or like,
I won't say, but boys will be boys, I guess. Wait.
You said there was one guy that was trying stuff?
There might have been one.
Okay, all right. So then what happened? So he says to you like, "Hey, Jamie, Moyle, I would like to get some Moyle of that ass, right?" And then what did you say?
God.
I laugh it off like it's a joke and pretend like I just didn't understand what they said.
That's a good. That's a good tactic. I like it.
Good strategy, right?
Well, because it seemed like Paige Van Zant when she was there, it seemed like she dated Cody and then Touchy Feely, and then it was like a lot of guys were like, they had like a line to go out with her, not like a gangbang line, but like it seemed like there were a lot of guys taking their shot. But you,
I mean, they were single at that point. I think they were all single and they were all dating each other. And Paige was young, and when you're young, you see all these hot fucking fighters. You're gonna want to hook up with them, especially when they're coming after you like that. So. But
you're more of a cougar because you're in your 30s. You've been around the block. You're from Riverside, so you're not gonna.
Hey, I turn 30 next year. Okay, Adam.
Oh, sorry. Right. Okay. Right. But you're more. But you've like seen this before. You're not gonna.
Yeah, I'm not some 21-year-old girl who's fucking enamored by a hot body and some tattoos.
Right. Got it. Well, obviously you are because you're dating a tattoo artist, but I got it. Right. So got it. Now, were you officially? Now, when you said that you're an Invicta now, did they release you from the UFC, or did you just jump to Invicta?
I did get cut. I lost 2 fights in a row, and I already was coming in kind of as a favor, didn't have very many fights, blah, blah, blah. So it's understandable. And I know I'm making a lot of improvements since I came out here, and I know my career's taken off. So, I mean, just go back to Invicta. I love Invicta. They run a great show, and Shannon is one of the most amazing people I've ever met. So, I mean, I'm really stoked to be working back with them, and just to keep fighting and keep showing, all the improvements that I've been making and all that. So
Right. Now, was it hard though? Like when they called you and said that you're cut, did you cry? Did you say fuck it? I'll show them. Was there like because I know if I've been fired from many jobs, so many jobs that I'm used to it. But I would assume that if it was UFC, I would take that very hard.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't I kind of thought it's possible that it would happen, so it's not like it was a huge slap in the face or anything, but I mean, when I got that call, I just like to practice emotional stability and practice being positive and shit like that. So when it happened, I just kind of thought it through and kind of just was solution minded about it, and I didn't freak out or cry or I know that I create everything in my life, so I mean, this happened for a reason. So, I mean, when it happened, I was okay. I kind of tried to talk Mick out of it for a second, and then I was like, you know what, fuck it, accept this. And then after I got off the phone with Mick, towards the end, I started to cry a little bit. But, I mean, literally, I hung the phone up and I called Shannon. I didn't dwell on it, I just moved forward.
I like it. Well, I would have given you a big hug if I was there. Just so you know.
Thanks.
But that's got to be the hardest. I could never have Mick's job because I would call a fighter, and then as soon as they got upset and started telling me, I would have been like, all right, you're still in the organization. I wouldn't be able to cut anybody. That's a
seriously,
fucking...
I could tell by the tone of his voice, he was upset for me, he was genuinely upset, and I had to be like, hey, Mick, don't feel bad for me, dude. It's okay, So that I should say that it's got to be a shitty thing to do, crushing people's dreams and whatnot.
I had a girlfriend that I tried to. She was an alcoholic. She was abusive towards me. She would threaten to kill herself if I broke up with her. It was fucking. I was living hell, and we were living together. And then every time I tried breaking up with her, she I come home and there'd be pasta. And she'd be like, "Hey, it's blowjob night," and start giving me and then I was like, "You know what? We should maybe one more chance."
Yeah.
And then after the 9th time, I was like, "It's over." So I'm so bad at that. Oh God! If I call Jamie Moyle and they're like, she's fucking, "Hey, listen, it's not gonna work," blah blah, and you're like, "I promise." I'm like, "All right, fine, one more shot." It'd be fine. There'd be 9,000 fighters in the fucking UFC if I was the guy. Yeah.
9,000 fighter.
It'd be fucking horrible. I can only imagine Magana. Magana's like, "I promise I'll fucking deep throat you and grab your balls." And, all right, fine. That's why she got that 7-fight fucking, so.
That's all it would take. Maybe I should have tried that on Mick.
No, don't try that on Mick. But yeah, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, deep throating and grabbing. Really? That's all it would take for you? Jesus. And you're still... How are you still single? All right, so we're dating this guy. It's been 2 weeks. I have a lot of confidence in this. Now, Sage Northcutt, is he a clone? I feel like he was built in a lab and something went wrong. Or he's an alien or something. Is that really how he is?
Yes, that is really how he is. Every single second of every single day.
He's just happy, smiling, calls everyone sir. Does he go home and beat his dog or something? How is this a real person?
He just has a very strong family support system and morals. He's raised a certain way, and that's just who he is. He's just a really different, happy, genuine person. I don't know what else to say about it.
No, I don't. I love him. I just can't believe this is an actual person. I feel like it's this is a character that Andy Kaufman came back or something and is playing. I'm like, what? How is this an actual? Even his tweets are gonna go play Fortnite, and he has a cat, and he has fucking a 12-pack, and I'm like, what? This is who's doing this? How is this a real person? Is he fucking with us?
I mean, probably. He probably is fucking with all of us. He goes home and he's totally different or something.
Like smokes weed, does lines of coke, and it's like kind of like that Chappelle thing with Wayne Brady, when Wayne Brady picks him up and he's like fucking picking up whores.
Does Wayne Brady have to choke a bitch?
Yeah, like I should do that with Sage Northcutt next year. Have like the Sage Northcutt have to choke a bitch. Like
That's so funny.
that should be for the awards. I should do one with Sage Northcutt, like the truth behind Northcutt.
Behind the scenes.
Behind the
hidden
scenes.
camera.
Yeah, there's no way this is an actual fucking person. Is his sister cool? She seems more normal than he is.
His sister, you said?
Yeah.
I haven't actually met her.
Probably the same person.
I mean, they look like the same person, just different hair.
There's something going on there. I honestly think that, like, he was, like you said, like aliens put him on or something. So I'm here with Joe the Kid Perez, by the way, Weendawg. Any questions for the beautiful and talented Jamie Moyle?
Hey, Jamie Moyle, it's me, Weendawg.
Okay.
What's up, Weendawg? Did I say that right?
Yes.
So I got a question for you. I mean, I don't want to offend you. I don't want to be too provocative, but it's a serious question.
All right.
Okay, so I'm in a relationship with a girl. She's very beautiful. Been going strong for about 8 months, but she doesn't want to have sex with me. She's a virgin. I think she's kind of scared. So my first question is, do you prefer, or is it true that girls prefer a guy with a normal sized dick, like maybe like 5-6 inches, maybe 6.5, maybe not too girthy, over a giant enormous 12-inch dick? Because the bigger the dick, I guess it's more painful for the girl, and they'll be sore afterwards, and they'll be sore the next day. So is it true that girls prefer, or most girls prefer, a normal sized penis?
Okay.
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, there are a good handful of girls that I suppose like really big dicks, but they probably get a lot of different dicks. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think that if your girl's a virgin, she's going to be happy with no matter what size.
Right. That's a good point.
And
Yeah.
just make sure you work it. But, I mean... Yeah, I mean, I'm cool with, like, average size. Like, you know, it doesn't have to be huge. Honestly, like, anywhere between, like, probably, like, 4 to 7 inches, like, your vagina can't really tell the difference very much. Like,
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you have sexual chemistry with somebody, it's going to be hot, you know?
So there's never been a case where it's been too small, where you're like, that's not going to work, put it away, or too big, and you're like, this is going to have to go real slow. You're more of like you're kind of a one size fits all kind of girl.
God. I mean, if it's like really big, then yeah, you feel like to go slow at first, but then you just like you just don't notice after a while, honestly.
Yeah.
But
That was a great question,
but yeah,
Weendawg.
I mean, there probably is such a thing as too small.
Yes, but you're not the kind of girl, because I know some girls started laughing, or like they would point or take a picture and call their friends over. But you're not.
Call their friends over.
But like that's not you're not gonna call all of a sudden start calling some of your training partners and like, hey, look at that, aha. You know, you're not that kind of a girl.
I mean, come on, you know me better than that. I'm too nice to be.
Yeah, there you go. Plus she's half Asian, so it's probably tighter.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Jamie Moyle, excited to watch you fight again. Get that belt, get the strap. All right, or go, and keep it up. You're awesome. You're a great girl. Do you have a day job at all, or just fighting full time?
Just fighting full time right now, and sponsors and stuff, you know.
Nice. So if I want to sponsor you for your next fight, how do I get in contact with you?
Text me. You have my number?
No, not me. I'm talking about like if people that listen to the podcast want to sponsor. Maybe I'll sponsor you too. But if I have a business and I'm like, you know what? I have an average penis. I like this girl.
Yeah.
She's not a dick snob. I would love to get on her banner or her shorts. How do I contact you?
Message me on Instagram at LoveBoatJamie, and I would love to take on new sponsors. I would love to hear from everybody. Please message me.
Yeah, and no dick pic, guys. Okay, listen, no dick pics.
No dick pics.
Yes, I'm sure after this podcast, a bunch of our listeners do not send her dick pics. Okay, do not send them to Weendawg instead.
Send me all the dick pics.
Yeah, Weendawg likes them. You know.
Hey, Weendawg, for real though, how old are you and how old is your girl?
I'm 22 years old. I'm a blue belt in 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu. I'm 6'2", 220 pounds, and my girl is 21 years old.
Damn, and she's a virgin?
Yeah, and she's got a hairy bush.
Yeah.
Yeah, but whatever.
Yeah.
So
It's no big deal.
no big deal.
That's okay.
Well, I mean, a little hair is okay, but you said it's pretty bad, right?
It's not too bad. Hey, Jamie Moyle, is it okay if I DM you on Instagram if I have any more needs of advice in the relationship world?
Of course.
Just know I'm at the Weendawg. Just don't be afraid if you get a message from somebody named Weendawg. That's just
if
me.
any guys have any sex questions, hit up Jamie Moyle.
Yeah.
She's really good at that, answering those questions.
Yeah.
She'd love to take your questions. And actually, you should probably post them after you send them to her. Post a screenshot, Jamie. So
Zero confidentiality.
Zero confidentiality. Well, thank you, Jamie. You're amazing. Keep up the great work. We love having you on the show, and you're a friend for life.
Thanks, Adam. I love you, and I was thinking about you today, thinking about the comedy club that you came to last time, and just let me know next time you're out here, and I'd love to come see you.
Absolutely. I got all new baby jokes, so it's good. So
Cool.
take care, Jamie.
All right, love you guys.
Bye.
Bye. All right, that was Jamie. Bye. That was Jamie Moyle.
Jamie Moyle.
I like her.
Yeah. She actually asked me a question. I feel like kind of starstruck now. I wasn't expecting her to ask me a question, dude.
Yeah, because she was like, what kind of an idiot would fucking ask this question?
Yeah. Yeah. Normally I ask girls questions and they just answer it and just run away. Yeah. Or if you're Jesse Jess, you want to have a fight with me and then go bang Vince Pichel.
She did bang him, though. That never happened.
That's good.
Why is that good?
'Cause I don't want. That's my girl, dude.
Oh, okay.
That's my hall pass.
That's your hall
Can't have Vince just come up here and sweep Jesse Jess away from me. God damn it.
So what do you got coming up, Weendawg?
I got some big news. The Paranormal Hour has switched back to Weendawg Radio, but Weendawg Radio is in the future going to switch to the No Big Deal podcast. I mean, I like to keep things changing with my podcast. I like to change the name like every couple months, just to keep the synergy going. It's
probably great for business, yeah.
Yeah. So look out for No Big Deal podcast. Nobody steal it because I haven't switched it yet. If someone steals the No Big Deal podcast, I'm gonna be pissed. So thank you. Go follow me on Twitter at the Weendawg, and that's pretty much it, dude.
Well, listen, people, if you shop on Amazon, go to adamhunter.com first, and then order whatever you want off. Click the link on my website, the Amazon link, and then buy whatever you want. It helps me out. Also, I will be at the Looney Bin Saloon in Miami, Oklahoma, next Friday and Saturday, 26th, 27th, and the Casablanca Resort in Mesquite, Nevada, November 2nd. And then at the end of the year, I will be at the LA Comedy Club at the Stratosphere. So yeah, that's what I got coming up. The Dime Bar every Monday and Tuesday if you're in LA. And this Friday night at the Laugh Factory in Hollywood. This Friday night, Laugh Factory in Hollywood. Well, thank you guys so much. Thank you, Weendawg. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Lance Palmer. And take care.
Thank you.
Trap sonsen trap dansen Түүний сонсдог хөгжим дур булаан Даадаш дуулан дур булаа мууруулаа